Welcome everybody in a new video. In this video I'll explain you the first Ohm law. Before I begin, I would like to tell you that if you like my videos, you could consider the idea to give me a like or subscribe to my channel, or both, why not? Also in this channel I make videos in Italian and Spanish too. So if you are looking for English only videos, you just have to look in the playlist and there you'll find all the English videos. Well, let's begin. So the first Ohm law, this is one of the first principles you'll study while studying electronics, or maybe the first. What is it? Well, this first Ohm law, it combines the three most important unit of measures in electronics: the tension, the current, and resistance. So what they are? Let's go one by one. Let's explain them one by one. The tension, as we said in the last videos, is the capacity to generate this flow of electrons. Okay, the tension is related to the difference of potential of a battery or a generator. Okay, so the tension is measured in volt and is written with a V, with a great V. Okay, sometimes a voltage generator, sometimes it is written with a, but just sometimes. Okay, usually tension is written with a V, with a great V, and it is measured in volt, and it is the capacity of the generator to create this flow of electrons, okay, to push the electrons around the circuits. Let's imagine the generator, the voltage generator, as something who creates, who can push electrons around the circuit, okay, who can generate this flow of electrons. While current is exactly the flow of electrons, okay? And this is the great difference between tension and current, because many people get confused. While they're talking about tension, current, they nominate them as they were the same things, but in reality they are not. So current is usually written with a great E, okay, with a great I, but it is measured in ampere. So if someone asks you how much is the current there, you could answer, well, it is 1 ampere or 2 ampere, 3 ampere, or 0.01 ampere, 0.02 ampere, something like this. Okay, while the volt, the tension can be 1 volt, 2 volt, 3 volt, 4 volt. Remember, never put the S, even if they are plural, never put the S, because even if they are 3, 4, 5, 6, you still say they are 3 volt, 4 volt, not 3 volts, 4 volt. Okay, and the resistance is everything that opposes resistance, clearly, to this flow of electrons. Okay, everything that opposes resistance to this flow of electrons is a resistance. Okay, everything that makes this flow of electrons more difficult, everything that makes electrons flowing into the circuits more slowly, more difficult, more... Yes, you understood what I mean. The resistance is written with a great R, and it is measured in ohm. So if someone asks you how much is this resistance, well, it is 100 ohm, 200 ohm, 300 ohm. Okay. So let's explain once again the great difference between tension and current. Imagine current as water. Okay, let's compare current to water. And let's compare tension to something that could move this water, could make this water move. Okay, imagine you are, I don't know, at the seaside or in a pool, okay, and you got your hand here on the surface of water. Okay, this is the surface of water. You got your hands here. Okay, imagine with your hand you push the water. This is what you do. You push the water in this direction. So your hand pushes the water in this direction, and water will move in this direction. So the hand who pushes the water is the generator, is the tension, okay? The hand who pushes the water. And the water will move in this other direction, okay? The water who moves in this direction is the current. This is the great difference between tension and current. Remember this. And the resistance is everything that makes the water movement more difficult to happen, like something who stays here and blocks the water. Okay, imagine something like this. Okay, so these are the three most important units of measure in electronics. Okay, there are many others, but these are the first three you will study in a simple circuit. Let's make some example now. Let's imagine a small circuit, a very small and simple circuit, just made by a generator. Remember, the generator is drawn in this way, and the bigger line, the longer line, represents the positive side. The shorter line represents the negative side. So plus and minus. So this is the generator. We have a circuit made by a wire. Okay, so we have a wire and a resistor. This is a resistance, or you can call it even in this other way. You can call it even resistor. A resistor is a component with a with a great resistance, basically. Okay, is a component specifically made to make a resistance in the circuit. Okay. Another thing I haven't told you is that usually when you write how much is a resistance, okay, when you write the quantity of a resistance, you don't write 3 ohm in this way. You write this symbol. You use this symbol, okay, which is the omega in Greek alphabet. Okay, you use this symbol. Well, for the other one, you just use a grade A or a grade V. Okay, let's just see them in an example. It will be more simple to understand. So this is a very simple circuit. We have the generator here. We can call it V or we can call it E. Okay, and the resistor here. Okay. Okay, we will use the classic representation of current, like I explained in the other videos. So, current will flow normally in a circuit from positive to negative. So, it will flow in this direction. So, in this circuit, we'll have a current who flows in this direction. Okay. And we will write current as a grade I. Okay. So we have the generator, the current, and the resistor. Okay. The first Ohm law allows us, if we know, maybe imagine you know two of these things, but you don't know the third one. The first Ohm law allows you to find the missing third one if you know two of these things. Okay, this is what allows you the first Ohm law. We could write the first Ohm law in 3 different ways. This one. Tension is equal to the resistor multiplied for the current. Okay. Or current is equal to the tension divided for the resistor, or resistor or resistance, more correct, is equal to the tension divided for the current. Okay, for current. These are the 3 possible ways to write the first Ohm law, or maybe to use the first Ohm law. You could use it in these 3 possible ways. Okay, so imagine in a simple circuit like this, maybe we know how much voltage this generator got, and we know how much ohm this resistor got, but we miss the current. We don't know how much could be the current if I got this generator and this resistor, how much the current could be. Sorry if sometimes I make wrong pronunciation. I know. Okay, so let's imagine this circuit. Well, in this case, the generator, let's point it with a E. Maybe it's more correct to use a E, yes. A. This generator and this resistor, let's say the generator got a tension of 10 volt. Okay, so we have 10 volt for the generator and 20 ohm for the resistor. Okay, you write it in this way: resistor equal 20 ohm. Okay, this is ohm. Okay, omega. Okay, how much is the current? How much is the current? We don't know the current. Well, we can use the first Ohm law to find it. Okay, if I miss the current, I have to use this version of the first Ohm law. These are three versions. I have to use this version of the first Ohm law if I miss the current. And using this version of the first Ohm law, I will easily find it. So the direction is this. You don't need to write plus and minus all the times. You know that the longer line is plus and the shorter line is minus for the generator. Okay. So we have to find the current. Okay, so we will divide voltage for resistor and we'll find the current. So what we'll do now is divide 10 volt. We'll divide 10 volt for 20 ohm. And we'll find the value of current, okay, which is 0.5 ampere. You can just write A, this is ampere, okay, and this is the current, okay. So we have found the current here using the first Ohm law, okay. Imagine you miss another thing. I'll just make another short example. Imagine we miss the voltage. Okay, we know that in this circuit there is a generator, but we don't know how much volt it got. Okay, I think it's got. Okay, so we have this generator, this resistor, and this current. Okay, we already know that the current is 0.3 ampere. Okay, and the resistor is 300 ohm. Okay, how much the voltage is? Okay, well, to find the voltage we just have to use this version of the first Ohm law. So using this version here of the first Ohm law, we'll just do this: current multiplied to resistor will give us the voltage. So we'll just do 0.3 multiplied to 300 ohm, and we'll have the value of our generator, the volt of our generator, and it is 90. So our generator is 90 volt. We have found it is 90 volt. Okay, and so on. Same if you miss maybe the resistor, you use this version of the first Ohm law. Basically the first Ohm law is this. An important thing I would like to say is that theoretically speaking, the resistance is just in the resistor. Okay, theoretically speaking, the resistance is just in the resistor, while practically speaking, well, it is quite different. In practice, which is very different from theory, in practice the wire too, it got a small resistance. Okay, so the resistor is a component that, yes, it particularly have resistance, it particularly oppose resistance to the flow of electrons. Okay, but the wire too, it got some proper resistor, it got a very small resistance. Even just a wire oppose a little of resistance to the passage of current. Okay, of current. Sorry. So remember this. Theory and practice are not the same thing, okay? So this is the basic of the first Ohm law. I think for this video, yes, I could make some other examples, but I think for this video it's enough, okay? We'll make other examples in other videos and we'll make more complicated circuits, because this one were the very basic, the most simple circuit we could have. In other videos we'll make other examples with more complicated circuits, and we'll try to use this first Ohm law, okay, to find some missing data in our circuits, okay. Okay, for this video, that's all. I hope everything I explained was clear enough. If you have any questions, you could ask them. You could ask me in the comments. I'll try everything possible to answer you. That's all. Okay, see you in the next video.